Hey guys, welcome to week 106 here on the Real DVD Watchers. On Wednesdays, as always, it's Tom, and the movie that I've chosen to review today is something that I just watched for the first time last night. And it was really interesting the way how it was done, and the themes that this movie represents. The special effects, weren't really superior, but for the time, they're really, really good. And the movie in question is Invasion of the Body Snatchers, back from 1978. Or 1979, yeah, 1978. Basically what's going on in this one, it's about two Department of Health workers, one named Matthew, the other one named Elizabeth. Matthew, of course, played by Donald Sutherland, and perhaps one of his best roles ever. And Elizabeth, played by Brooke Adams. And basically what happens is, pretty much there's like this underlying love story between the two characters of Matthew and Elizabeth. But it starts off, with we see like this far off distant planet, and then these entities, which pretty much look like vapors, coming down to Earth, and then creating these pods where they start assimilating plants and making duplicates of plants. But then they start making replicants of people. And Elizabeth's boyfriend, who's like this jerk, gets taken over, and Elizabeth starts noticing changes in the way how he's behaving, how he's her boyfriend but not really her boyfriend. And then it just becomes this great story of this whole entire town in San Francisco being assimilated, and pretty much turning over, and then becoming like this global epidemic that Matthew and Elizabeth are trying to stop. And yeah, so that's basically the movie, and it was really, really, really well done. I want to talk about some themes in this movie, like the whole entire theme of conformity, or how it is dangerous, but it's also rather soothing, because conformity, it eliminates hate. It eliminates all these horrible things in the world, but yet again, you lose your own individuality. And this movie also plays off of fear of your neighbor, fear of change, fear of all this stuff, that we actually go through, but puts it on sorry, my DVDs are crooked, puts it up on a much larger scale. And I think for a lot of people, that is really frightening. I mean, everything that is just completely destroyed, and you're being told that this is the right way, and you have to succumb about it. There's also themes of rebellion in this movie, which saying, no, I will not go silently into the night and allow you to do this. Oh, why the fuck is there all this gunk on my DVDs? Anyway, so this movie has really great themes, but also this movie for being shot in the time period that it is. It's very timeless. I mean, just, the clothes are a little bit dated, but everyone's either wearing a nice suit or a nice dress, or just casual clothing. Like, there's nothing really in this movie to date it, and I feel that that's really what makes this movie so special and so haunting, is that it could happen at any time. So really, this movie is just absolutely great when you get right down to it. The physical effects, they look really, really hokey for today's day and age. But back in the day, I'm sure they would look great, especially when the blood's pouring out of all the pods towards the end, and also when they start making all those replicants, and you see the various stages of the replicants. It looks very, very pristine. It looks really nice. And also, this movie was shot in a very, very almost noirish kind of way. At least I kind of felt that the cinematographer used a little bit of noirish tones to it, because we watched this one scene when they're all running, just using like their shadows up on buildings, and they're running across, and also the way how he used darks to insinuate sinister looks and stuff like that. The director of this film was Philip Kaufman. Really well done. What the hell was the name of the? I forget what the cinematographer's name is, but my God, the DP on this movie is so good. DP. Yeah, back after having a childish moment. Yeah, but just nonetheless still great. As compared to the Blu-ray versus the DVD, I haven't really watched the DVD, so I really can't compare it. But it looked average. Really, the thing with me is I don't really notice a change in Blu-ray over DVD, unless it's big budget special effect movies like Iron Man or Watchmen or something like that, or in my case, the best looking Blu-ray of all time, Serenity. That Blu-ray looks so fucking good. But nonetheless, though, Invasion of the Body Snatchers is a great film with a lot of great themes going on in particular. And depending on how you look at the ending, it's either a really good ending or a down ending. Yeah, the ending is a little bit of a mindfuck, but when you really think about it, it's kind of like Shivers by David Cronenberg, you know, where it could be a good ending or it could be a bad ending, all depending on how you view it. Because as bad as they make the plot people out to be in this movie, really they're just trying to help out the human race. Really, when you think about it, they're trying to create a perfect world. And yes, in doing so, you know, you cannot create anything perfect without destroying first. And I totally understand that. But in the same way, though, this movie is a paradox in some ways towards the ending. Maybe I'm looking too far into it. I seem to be saying that a lot lately in my reviews, but I don't know. Sometimes I could probably just be just a douchebag. Anyway, that's my review. If I had to give this movie a rating out of 10, it would definitely get an 8. I really enjoy this movie. Definitely go out and check it out. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Yeah. So that's the review. Thanks to everyone who watches and subscribes as always. You guys rock. And I'll be back in a week's time. Later.